Very interesting morning right here on the New Day on TV3. Earlier, you witnessed a conversation between Johnny and some politicians concerning corruption, especially in the country. And also, Yafo Sulabi was here with some sports highlights. I saw something on CNN about a Chelsea football player who was lamenting about racism in, in London. And it was really sad. But anyway, I'm sure later on they'll update you on that. Right now, let's move away from all the political talk and get into our health segment. And today we're discussing oral sex. You probably might have tried it, probably engaged in it a few times, or it's maybe a regular thing in your life. But whichever way, are you aware of some of the sexual, implications of oral sex? Is it linked to throat cancer, oral cancer? I read something about how a woman who performs oral sex on her partner whilst pregnant could save herself from miscarriage. Is that really true? We want you to join in the conversation as well on social media at TV3, make it simple, and let us know what you think about it and what you know about it as well. And also, just remember that we started a conversation earlier on this morning to find out how you have saved your side chick or side guy's name on your phone, or if you know anybody who has a very interesting name for their side partner. So please let us know that as well. In the studios, I have on my far left Dr. Nana Kwabna. Well, Dr. Nana Andor Hansen, he is at the ENT unit at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me.
Good morning.
And then we have Councillor George Lutherodt. Councillor.
Yeah.
Good morning. Make it hello. How are you? Councillor,
Yeah.
Do you perform oral sex?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yes. Spiritually, physically, materially. In available times, I don't miss such chances.
You don't miss it?
No, I don't miss such
regardless
chances.
of the health implications?
I don't know the health implications because
okay.
I am immune against any health implication that will come from this hygienic, sensible, qualified
It is hygienic,
place. The place, you know that the private part of a woman is 10 times cleaner than the mouth. So going there,
really?
It's very spiritual.
I see.
And it's important because, you know, the 8,000 nerves on the clits and the 16,000 nerves on the male organ alone makes you feel very exciting to use a tank on the clit, and it is a spiritual exercise.
I see.
Hallelujah to the church.
Amen. First of all, let's start from the top. What is oral sex? Because a few people think that oral sex has to do with any kind of performance that you do with your mouth. So whether it's kissing your partner or whatever, that is oral sex. Is it? And if it's not, what exactly is oral sex? Doc, if you can come in.
So oral sex is about using the oral cavity, so the mouth, and the sexual genitalia for sexual gratification. So it could be a man licking the woman's vagina, or in the modern world where we have homosexuals and all that, we have a man, a woman licking the anus of the partner, all for sexual gratification. So it's not just about the classical sex organs we know. Right now we are in a new environment, so anus and mouth, it's all part of the oral sex. Yes.
How did we get to a point where oral sex became a regular thing amongst us? Because I remember, and I was reading a bit about how it was a taboo back in ancient Rome. I mean, you dare not do it because it meant that you were submitting, and that wasn't allowed in the past. Even though in some religions as well, they see it as totally wrong, and some people psychologically cannot engage in oral sex because of all the things that they assume could go wrong. Councillor.
Well, thank you very much. I've said this several times that there's nothing called oral sex. They have to change the journal. Sex can never be oral.
Okay, so what should we call it?
It is called foreplay.
Okay.
There's nothing called oral sex.
Why? Why would you say that?
Because sex can never be oral.
How can it never be oral?
The basic reason why we say sex is when there's coitus. So when the male organ has not entered the female organ, sex have not been achieved.
Okay.
So if you put the male organ anywhere, it's not sex. Put it in the nose, it's not sex. In the mouth, it's not sex. In the armpit, it's not sex.
Okay.
Sex is only when the male organ has found its way in the female organ.
Okay.
So any other thing you do is foreplay.
All right.
And foreplay is what will lead you to have very, very qualified, lubricated sexual intercourse. So what is wrong in foreplay? And foreplay has not been designed in any way. Whatever suits you, that gives you the clearance to be able to give the other party that lubrication, and the other party that good erectile, position, so that coitus can be, enjoyed.
Okay.
It's acceptable. So where do we say oral sex, oral sex? There's nothing called anal sex. There's nothing called anal sex.
There is something called anal sex.
I say it's wrong.
Okay.
Sex can never go anywhere apart from the male organ. So when you talk about sex, then there's a penetration. Any other thing around it is foreplay. So if you see the male organ anywhere, they're having foreplay.
And you see nothing wrong with that?
No.
Why?
Because what is wrong with it? It's a foreplay. Okay. I keep saying this thing that any man who penetrates a woman while she's not lubricated is a murderer and deserves to be killed.
Why would you say that? No, I mean, explain.
Do you know what lubrication means? When you are supposed to produce estrogen for proper penetration, and then the place is, you are pushing to get lubrication. Nothing. I mean, so that lubrication part alone is what leads you to have a foreplay.
But not everybody needs foreplay to get lubricated.
Then you have a mental problem.
Sorry, how is that? Because I mean, we are aware that there are some people who don't need foreplay to get to that level.
If you don't need foreplay, then you don't need a play. Because the foreplay is what leads to the play.
Wait, Doc, let me bring you in here because I don't know if you agree with counsel. What I'm trying to say here is that there are certain people who mentally can even get themselves to that level, so they don't necessarily need foreplay. Is there anything wrong with that? He's saying that then you're mentally challenged.
I'm not a sex therapist, so...
No, but as a doctor, tell me.
So my personal opinion is I don't agree with what he's saying, because people get aroused differently. Yeah. So somebody might get aroused by just looking at somebody.
So it's still foreplay. He's looking at something.
So I don't necessarily agree. There is oral sex, there is anal sex. It's sex. As far as the person derives sexual gratification from it, I will classify it as sex. And it's not just me. It's worldwide. Everybody classifies it as sex. So maybe that's his personal opinion, but generally, oral sex is sex.
Is it a healthy thing to do? Because he says that for him, it's important. You need it, in your relationship, in your sexual life. But for you, what do you think? Medically, is it a healthy thing?
Medically, no.
Okay.
Counselor,
why are you looking at him like that?
He said that no by bringing his head down. So I don't
know
why.
You don't think he's...
The no was, I don't know whether...
Medically, no. Medically, no.
Why?
We all know about STIs, sexually transmitted infections. There are several organisms. Yeah. And they are associated with, it's transmitted by having sex with your partner. Whether irrespective of your orientation. So commonly we've heard about HIV. That's the most common one we hear about, HIV and all that. Yeah. But we have other sexually transmitted infections like HPV. I know we've all heard about uterine cervical cancer. Yeah. And we know it's caused by HPV, the virus. And also the same virus causes genital warts. So it has been noted, and this is evidence-based medicine, that there's an association between the HPV, that's the virus, and oropharyngeal cancers. So the oropharyngeal cancers involves tumors that involve the base of tongue and the tonsils. And HPV has a high association with these cancers. And it has actually been noted that there is an increase in the incidence of these oropharyngeal cancers. And most people think because of the frisky or the people are now exploring more. So they are more engaged in oral sex. Because, I don't know, but when we were young, we were not hearing about oral sex. But right now, it
was probably being practiced privately. But now
yes, but right now, people are proudly coming out with yes. So there is an increased incidence of oropharyngeal cancers, which we think is due to oral sex, through which you transmit the HPV virus.
You said you think. Does it mean that it's not an established fact?
You see, we have causes and we have associations. So it's not a cause, but there's an association.
Okay. Okay.
You get it?
Okay.
So I can't say that it causes it, but it has been noted to be associated with oropharyngeal. HPV has been associated with oropharyngeal cancers. Yes. So, and the way you get it is via sexual contact. You get what I'm saying? Okay. So it's an association, not a cause.
Okay. Okay, so you're saying that if a woman has HPV and a man goes down on her, it's very likely that you know, it could be passed.
Definitely. So in places like India, they've noted that there is an increased incidence of HPV, oropharyngeal cancers in men.
Okay.
Because in India too, there is high incidence of cervical cancer. So the association is, and more, you see, outside they do a lot of research, surveys and all, and more men are performing oral sex on their partners. And when you go in and ask them about it, then they will tell you, oh, we've been having oral sex, and they end up developing oropharyngeal cancer.
I know not everyone who has HPV necessarily will get cervical cancer.
No. That is very, very true.
So then
very true.
If this person that probably had HPV or has HPV is not, it's not the cancerous type, that means that if I perform it on that person, I'm
so
not
the
likely...
HPV, we have different serotypes.
Yeah.
We have ones which causes cancer.
Yeah.
We have serotype 16 and 18. And we have other serotypes which cause benign lesions. Benign, it means it's not cancerous.
Yeah.
But they cause a disease, but it's not cancerous. So that is why there's an association. So although the person has the one uterine cervical cancer, maybe that one is caused by the HPV 16, but the oropharyngeal cancer too is caused by cervical cancer, the HPV 16.
Okay.
So there's a transmission. Although we have other benign lesions, the respiratory papillomatosis, that's like grape-like lesions forming along the respiratory tract. That's caused by another serotype.
Okay.
So usually it's not just one serotype which colonizes the genital area. We have all the other serotypes colonizing the butt.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Counselor, I see you shaking your head.
Because this thing is fear and panic.
You think we're causing fear?
Yes.
Why? Should we not be educating people?
You see, this is not where we're supposed to tackle it from. I mean, I was just waiting for him to come and say that it's an association, but it's not a proof that. Because people have licked Alomotafidbomski. Until today, they are more healthier than many Shokodan.
Okay.
He knows, and he will not run away from it, that there are a lot of things that enters into your mouth, all right? That comes from the female genital area. That has more medicinal value than any drug produced by any pharmaceutical company.
Like?
Well, I am not here to bring fear and panic to the people.
Okay.
But if you know how to do it.
I mean,
no, I'm not helping. No, you see, I'm not helping because today I wanted to restrict myself to the sex therapy level and give dog the chance because that's what I'm trying to.
No, but if you also have a contribution, I think it's only fair.
Mine has always been beneficial even to the man watching now because he knows. But what I'm saying is that you see, we have come to a point where we need to tackle issues from the root and not the leaves. Why should a lady have an STD? STI. Okay. What is the cause of it? Why won't we tackle you, the woman, to do whatever possible you can do to prevent yourself from getting an STD? That's one.
Okay.
Because the material called the tank, when they meet the clit, they make a different sound. So when you deny the clit of meeting the tank, you are killing the body.
Okay.
This one, whether you need scientific proof or not, you who have experienced it, you know what I'm talking about. So, if we begin to say there's infection there, there's throat cancer, till now, there have not been any proof of throat cancer, till today.
Doctor,
there have not been any case proving throat cancer.
I wouldn't
as a because I've also done my research, and I said there's no proof. So if there's a proof, then you bring it to come and battle my own. That there's a proof. We've got 10 cases. We've got 20 cases. Because in the whole wide world, they are still thinking that this could be a cause of this. So they finish the research on the person. And they are saying that because you said you did this, per the history, per the medical history, have you done this before? Have you licked this person before? Have you done this before? So let's get this person. He has this. It could be likely that this could be what is causing this. And I'm saying that if they prove to her, because HIV till today, we've still come to a point to believe that it cannot be transmitted through saliva. So if somebody goes to lick and say, I only do licking and I'm HIV positive, it could be one off, but we have to go into deep research. Maybe there's a bleeding gum, whatever, could be it. But I don't think per what I have read, the clinical journals, the research and whatever, it should ban us from having licking as part of foreplay.
Okay, but let's not only limit it to licking, because I know that men also get, you know, their organ.
I am talking about sucking. Okay. And if you are sucking, then you want to be careful. You don't give it to sharp teeth mentality people.
Well, before we even get to the sharp teeth babies, relax. I want you to land on that particular one, because you're saying that there's no correlation between, you know, oral sex and throat cancer and all of that. So women should rather focus on
how hygienic is your private part. We have lost it, because I remember 1999 to 2000 when we started with PPAG. What we're doing was that we did all our best. I've been a volunteer from that time to today. That we did as a reproductive counselor. We were trying to help women to become more hygienically okay. Because you see, people go like, I don't want to go to public urinary to go and urinate, because when I finish urinating, I get infected. Yeah. The moment you get infected by urinating, getting an ITI for urinating in public, it means that the protectors at your system is what is gone down.
Okay.
So let's begin to help the women to have their onion-like smell in their private part. Let's begin to let them know that this place, I'll visit there. So keep it down well. In the ancient world, because of the pride in men, they think that when you go there, you lose your focus. Because when your head is there, your concentration is lost. So by losing of that focus, they rather decided they don't go there and be belittled. Because it makes you, the happiest moment of a man becomes the weakest moment of that man. That is why they were against it and it was all going. But we realized that it becomes a deficit for the women. Because let me tell you, sucking doesn't give a man anything more like licking. When you suck the male organ of a man, although the cap of the penis carries 16,000 nerves, as compared to the clitoris carrying just 8,000. So it's times 2. It means that they are very friendly. But when you suck it, it depends on you. You have to be taught, because you have to get a tutorial before you can do the sucking. But most people, when they hold their male organ, they rather lose erection, because you know what I'm talking about. But when it comes to the woman, preparing her, the foreplay, including the licking, has more. That's what I'm saying, that there is more benefits in the private part of a woman than the male organ of a man.
So the woman should try to keep her vagina clean. That
is the first thing we should be educating girls. Let your have the onion-like smell, because when you put your finger around the front and you do this, you shouldn't do That is why when you are doing licking and you think the place is not okay, when you finish from there, you come to the upper level. What is?
Anyway, before I even ask some more questions,
you understand?
Crystal is on the other side. It looks like we have some comments, and yes, you can also send in your comments as well at TV3 on social media. Tell us what's happening on social media.
Someone says oral sex is important to a man. Forget about the medical implications. At least something must kill a man. Good morning. My name is Memphis from Agona Swedru. I would like to ask that if we don't have oral sex, then what will be the name for that?
It's foreplay.
It's
foreplay. It's not.
I don't agree to what the counselor is saying. I don't understand why he's always objects to what is right. I'm Gamu from Kumasi Mamponte.
That's okay.
I'm Belinda inside Fidim, and I want to know if oral sex is advisable. For tramadol, we take all die be die. Wow. Good morning. Please ask counselor if it's right for a married man to have oral sex outside the marriage. WKN from Akosombo. And without penetration, there's no sex by a counselor. Please ask counselor for me. What about what Jesus said? Wait, what about what Jesus said, that when even you look at a lady lustfully, you have had sex with her?
If you look at a lady twice, so you can keep looking once.
Okay, but when it's twice, that is
where the sin comes. So don't change your eye.
Anyway, thank you so much, Krista. I'm sure you're having a good laugh with. I know. But if you're also enjoying as well, you can send in your messages at TV3 on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And we're streaming live as well, so please make sure that you watch and drop your comments there. Even before we answer some of these questions, Counselor and Doctor, I'm coming back to the issue of, you know, oral sex and oral cancer. Now, if you're saying that there's no proven cause, there are some people who think that if you brush your teeth right before you perform oral sex or right after, then you're likely to not contract any disease at all. Is that true?
So let me first start by saying Lutherodt mentioned there is benefits in licking a woman's vagina.
Okay.
There's no medical fact or proving. There's no medical facts based
but it's a psychological.
Okay.
No, you're talking about me. I'm talking about my field.
Okay.
Medically, there's no. It's not backed by facts.
There's no benefits.
No.
There
isn't medically. I don't know where he's getting his info from.
No, there is medical.
So
no,
let him land.
Research and see.
So
ask dogs about the liquid, the fluid in the woman's vagina. Ask dog the benefits
for sexual gratification. Maybe yes, but medically benefits as in it's not health. There's no health benefits. Okay. That is number one.
Okay.
And also with throat cancer, we have, you see, most of the conditions there are associations. Like breast cancer, there is association when you are old, when you are a woman, there is increased risk. Yes. With throat cancer, we know those who smoke tobacco and those who drink alcohol a lot, they are at increased risk of getting. But we have cases where somebody has never smoked, he has never drank alcohol in his life, but he comes in with oropharyngeal cancer, that's throat cancer. So that's gift. that is where the studies comes in. So you ask other questions. Yeah. And people do biopsies. That you take a piece of the tumor or the cancer and you send it to the lab. Yeah. And it had noted that almost, or I think about 26 or 50% of the time there is HPV, the DNA of the virus is found in the tumor. Okay. So it's not just about asking the questions, it's about research which has been done, not just on one person, but a lot of people. And it's not a cause, but it's an association. That's why I didn't say a cause.
Exactly. You stated that clearly.
So it's an association.
Yeah, but I asked if brushing your teeth could also prevent you from contracting any other...
No.
Okay.
No. Emphatically no.
Okay, so even if you brush your teeth and there's still some infection, you are very likely to get it.
Yes.
Now he talked about the liquid inside. We know, the woman's vagina has a self-cleaning liquid. Okay, so if that is transferred to the man as well, then I'm guessing that should clean.
No, it's supposed to clean the vagina, not to clean the mouth.
Okay. Okay.
It was created to clean the vagina.
So then it's dangerous for the mouth.
Definitely not. That is when it is contaminated. Okay. You get it. So in relation to the throat cancer, when it's infected with HPV, that's not to say every woman is infected. Not every woman or man is infected with HPV virus. So it's only when there's that infection. All right. Okay. So I don't want you to make it a blanket statement that all women or men are infected. No, that is not right.
All right. Now let's move away. I read something about women, pregnant women who go down on men, and the fact that can prevent you from getting a miscarriage because of some liquid from the man, proteins or something like that. Can you explain? I don't know if it's related to the sperm, and Counselor, if you know about it as well, maybe you can touch on it for me.
So I don't know where you read that from, but
well, I saw it on Wikipedia.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is not true.
It's wrong.
It's wrong.
Okay.
Wikipedia, everybody can type into Wikipedia. And
that's why I'm asking you, because I needed you to. A number of people could go and read it.
It isn't true.
Okay.
That the semen of a man will prevent miscarriage. No, it is not medically proven. Okay. Yes.
All right. Counselor.
Well, it's not medically proven, but the excitement within it could also either help you miscarry or maintain your position. Because there are people who have weak uterus that per some excitement, we've seen them getting miscarried before. Do you understand? And there are some mood swings that can also give you a balance in your... there are a lot of complications when it comes to pregnancies, and everybody and what works for them when it comes to pregnancy. That's why we say that it's equated to 100% death when a woman is pregnant, because that's the only time human beings depends on another human being. So maybe it might not be the sperm per se, but it could be the act that brought the sperm out, your excitement, that's where it is. Okay. It's not the sperm coming, because when you ejaculate, the temperature in the ejaculation alone has its own excitement in the vulva of the woman. If they ejaculate in you, the temperature alone, per the friction that comes, that's its own thing that's there. Okay. And dog is aware that there's some protein, potassium in the estrogen. There's some protein within the fluid in the vagina, in the vagina area. So at least that's what I'm saying, that I want to restrict myself to a sex therapy level. So I leave the medicine there. So these ones are missed calls. Maybe when he leaves, you will see, okay, if you but so that can be a help. There are people too that when they are pregnant, that's when the peak for sex excitement comes in. And let me tell you, if foreplay is not part of sexual activity, it makes sexual intercourse becomes mechanical. Okay. So when people say you don't need foreplay to be there, even when you are gazing at Bellamundi on TV3, imagine I can let 2 rounds on coin. But then I'll be your baby on a shiny, and then all of a sudden you get erected. Foreplay.
Can you stop using me as your
because
example?
What is close to you is what you use for example.
Anyway.
So you're the closest person. I can't use dog because gayism is not my mental focus. So what I'm saying is that this foreplay thing, I am rather expecting that how do we get down to let people begin to become more hygienically neat? Okay. Because you see, I don't know if dog is aware, but currently we just found that we thought that women were only people who can be infected with some of these fungal infection and other infections. But recently, there was a research when I traveled. There was one course I went to do within insects, and they realized that the scrotum of a man, when you finish bathing, and you don't clean well before you wear your panties, you create. And they have done the research. Is it the association, the medical association of something in the US? I've forgotten this thing. And I was like, wow, because majority of us when we finish bathing, we only take our boxer shorts, even and cleaning this thing. Charlie, it's not. But immediately from there, I realized then I could be brooding something that I don't even know. Yeah. So they have gone through and realized that a woman has a particular infection that they know where it's coming from. Where is it coming from? Then they realize that, oh man, how did they get it? It means that after bathing we don't clean. So let's begin to tell the men that your boxer shorts, even if it's black, change it every day. We only tell women change your boxer shorts. We change your panties. Yeah, we tell women wear panty liners because for you to constantly get infection, at times it's not. I remember there was a research that we did for Orgasm Conference 2018, and the team we brought out was when we realized that the pant size you wear can increase your infection as a woman because the cutting. That's why the jeans, people say jeans string gives. Yeah. But you see, the jeans string has a place to lie between the anus and the vagina. And if it folds, the cutting folds into the vagina, into the anus, then constantly is wet. So infection from the anus go into the place. And most people say, I didn't know. Until now they stop and they realize, okay, I want to buy the right sizes. So we need to educate people to keep their female organs neat, the male organ neat. If it's smelly, you know AJ. There's an original smell we call the Jane smell, onion-like smell. If you've lost it, then you should know something is going wrong. Okay. Because somebody will come there and get their pleasure to thank God for what He has done. People don't say Jesus alone when they get to that level because they are thanking the Creator for what He has created. Okay. So let's not destroy this particular thing with cancer of the throat. Okay, let's move away from cancer of the throat and now talk about mucus in the eyes. Is there any possibility that you can get some mucus in your eyes if you perform oral sex?
Mucus in the eye? Yeah,
and this is a message that's coming in. Someone wants to know. Is there any relation at all?
No.
Not at all.
Oral, we are talking about oral sex, so I don't know how come the
maybe the person is speaking from experience. Maybe while she was doing all of a sudden. I remember so the things that happen during oral sex. Some of them.
And I know ENT is about what ears, nose, and everything. Throat, so maybe exactly.
Charlie, the things that happen there.
So maybe when people the semen gets caught, there will be irritation on the eyes. So mucus. The eyes doesn't produce mucus. No, the eyes doesn't produce mucus. Okay. And semen is not mucus. So I don't know the link.
I guess maybe you have your answer now.
Maybe he met the heat from the place.
So someone wants to know if you have to do it at all costs, must it be a clean shaven place or bushy? Why is your face changed?
Okay, so it's a very good question. Yeah. Because you see, when a woman doesn't shave, most women say they don't have good scent under themselves and they don't know. And some people are tweeting what they don't know. Now, what is happening is that we men, when we finish going to the gents, what we do is that we shake. We shake. So when we shake, the leftover comes off. Okay. We don't usually clean. We only shake. And when you shake, you have something good you shake, like an African one, not like a Chinese one. Chinese one you have to jump, but the African one you shake. When you shake, it's likely that you sprinkle the leftover off. Now, women, this is what happens to most women. One, you don't shave. So your last residue, the last drops, comes into the hair, has contact with the semi-cotton parts, because when you see the panty lining or inside you, it has a semi-contact with the polyester mixed with this thing. So as you walk, then the smell starts because the wee smells more than the feces. You know what smells more than toilet. Let me go straight. You understand? So regularly, once you've not shaved, that wee stays within it. And you know why most of you are getting that smell now? You know how you wee now? Most of you, because you hear they say when you sit on any toilet, you don't know, you get infected. So when you go now, you hang like this. And you do.
Because you
and some of you, when you finish, infection. You do this.
No,
you are shaking like us.
We use tissue.
No, most of you, the quick you leave the place is when you leave before the droppings come. So you don't even have time. You don't even have time to wee-wee. You don't sit there because, but when you sit, when you have a child who's having challenges with poo-pooing at a certain age, they force you to give the child a chamber pot. Force the child to sit on this. Because once they sit like this, the opening comes better for them. So when you open and you wee-wee like that from the urinator, you take your time, let it drop because the whole place is always open. It's not like my own. So it's one of the reasons. So if you've not shaved, it's not too hygienic for you. I ain't going to say I can keep it. No, you should learn to shave and let it be down. It should be down because the sensation alone when it comes to even foreplay with the hair growing small is another level in the realms of sexual spirituality.
Okay.
That as if the hair is growing, it's not coming, and then the part of your mouth will touch it and it meets shave to shave. Oh.
So does it mean that women should adopt this Islamic way of washing right after?
You see, washing has been the best, but unfortunately for us, there are times that most people who wash. Their hands, they don't. When you go to the ladies, you know what you do? Once you enter, you go and do your thing. When you finish, you are washing by your hand from the door, your hand from the tap handle. So there are times that even your washing introduces that to it. Okay. So if you want to wash, then when you finish wee-weeing, sanitize your hand first before you wash. And remember that you don't wash inside your vagina. You wash the surface. I know people even put their fingers. And unfortunately for us, your nails carries a lot of germ. You see, the foreplay issue, there are even men whose nails have grown. So during their foreplay, they put their finger inside you and things. They rather bring. So there are a lot of things that we need to do to let people know. Foreplay is good, but we need to teach people how to become clean. So shaving is good for you to shave every part. Although, because for example, if you are using ice cream to lick and there's hair, when you put the ice cream on the hair, it does as if it's suspending and it's trickling down before it will hit the skin. Okay. Before you shoo a major, it has its own way, but it should be neat. And some of the shaving you meet, they are decorated like on workplace. You meet it. Oh my God.
Okay. Should you wash down before oral sex, especially for the men as well? Should you wash down immediately before?
For me, I say a big no.
No?
For me, I say no.
I would say avoid oral sex totally.
You think you should avoid it totally? I'll come to you on that, so we use that to wrap up. But
I say stand with it.
Why?
Live with it. Learn the new techniques with it.
But washing is... Keep
your private part neat and acceptable. That's the most important thing.
I've been out all day.
Bella, you should run 72 hours as a woman without a smell.
That's possible?
Yes, it is. Should be.
Okay.
Once you begin to lose it, ask yourself, am I losing my protectors? You should be able to go through 3 days without going through your vaginal area, and it should not have any bad smell.
Okay.
Once you see that less than 24 hours, that's why I don't condone to the things that they are giving you to protect. There's a natural way that God gave you to protect the private part. Let the naturalism work. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Your smell must have that onion-like smell. When it changes, what am I not doing right?
Yeah.
There are people who are treating infections, but they don't know that when I'm treating infections, you have to discard all your panties that you're using before.
Yeah.
There are people now, they even dry their panties. They don't put it on the line anymore.
Yeah,
because people shouldn't see. And you see, any woman, quote me, any woman or any young girl like you who gathers her pants to wash, she's a disgrace and a shameful person.
You should wash it immediately?
Panties are not supposed to be kept, because when you gather them, they're rather crude infection. Even not just panties, all clothing.
Yeah.
So why do you have to gather your pants 20 and wash?
You don't have
who
time.
Are you?
So
you go to bathroom, you can't wash one pant.
You are in a hurry?
Have you poo inside? Oh, wow, me.
You are in a hurry.
Hurry to where?
So you soak it, and then maybe the next day.
You see, that's what I hear people soak. They have to soak with Dettol and things. Do you know when you begin to soak your pants with Dettol? It's because you think you are treating an infection.
No, you are just keeping it clean.
Yeah, so what is dirty in that pant that you are putting Dettol inside? What is dirty there?
No, but you are keeping it clean, and that's your way of washing.
You see, that's what I'm saying. That you introduce a lot of things to your place, rather, to go and break your protectors, thinking you are protecting.
I say washing with Dettol and,
do you know when they ask you to wash with Dettol or Savron? Do you know when even that we tell you wash 1 day, 2 days, and don't do again? Okay. So when you become habitual, I know people use a lot of things. People the last time I met a group that they use Alatasamana. You know Alatasamana?
Yeah.
They said Bonu kukruwa keke. Nafa ko 10 minutes na yi. I bet Chisa, Jimmy, oh, Chidiamawine. Oh, Chiamawine. See, people believe that when you are tight, it means you're okay. So they do a lot of things for tightness. The private part of a woman is not supposed to be tight. God created it that when you meet what must go there after foreplay, it's supposed to be released. So, my sister, the secret is that let's keep ourselves hygienically clean. Whether you are a man, whether you are a woman, you can have the chance to have sexual intercourse anytime. And foreplay doesn't just mean going there. What you see before the act. So I'm begging all married women. Most of you wear old panties at home. Obinim is burning all the panties. Please wear something that will ignite, something that will ignite the thing. But Piotr Dada, old panties is what you meet in the evening.
So if I don't have money, I should.
This is why I'm married to you. I should release, because when you meet girls in town who are side chick that maintain marriages because of inefficiency, they wear too much. So foreplay is not just going to suck and what. And let me talk about the nipple quickly before I go. The nipple has its own challenge for foreplay. When you bath, make sure that you use the water clean to massage the nipple, because there are times that you don't do. So when we meet you and we wet it by saliva, we have particles coming to your mouth. So you meet most of the guys, when they are just sucking your nipple, they're just like here because particularly put the wrong place.
You should massage it. But if you're using a sponge,
no, don't do that. No, be gentle to your breast, your nipple. Okay. Just like this, gently with the water wet, and the nipples will just release the residue so that you don't leave it in my throat, because people cough. You understand?
Okay.
And enjoy the act. People too don't know. When you're giving yourself to somebody to lick, look at the teeth arrangement.
Okay.
Because gap tooth people.
Teeth arrangements. What are you trying to say?
The gap tooth people can hold your clit and do top before you hear
Giovanni.
You call me Giovanni.
No, I'm just saying you said the gap. So I'm saying
I've told you long time, Giovanni, that is, he knows. He's
Giovanni has a gap, so I'm just
he's a living element of such acts. He knows. That's why I told the wife, limit himself from giving him the opportunity.
So you say foreplay all through and through. Doc, you say stay away from oral sex. Tell me why.
So
we're wrapping up with that.
There's a strong correlation between HPV virus and oropharyngeal cancer, that's throat cancer.
All right.
And it is transmitted, we know it is transmitted through oral sex. So that means there is a correlation between oral sex and oropharyngeal tumors. Okay. So we should avoid it.
Avoid it completely.
Yes.
Cancer.
Well, I think that, just 1 minute, I think that like, I still want to emphasize that let's begin to keep our private parts clean, both of us. Whatever most of the things that are selling in town that you are buying to check out things, you don't need that until you get to a point where you are sick. I think I told you one time that when people were rushing for a particular drug, it was because there's problem in the country. So that lady came and sold things and people were happy for it. It's because there was problem. If you think there's any medicine that can make a woman feel that your place is more sweeter than anything, it's a lie. There's no sweetness there. It is the neatness that we are looking for. Okay. So in case you have any challenge, I have always been responsible for my comment and my statement. And if you are not able to do, because people to you touch their clitoris, then it tickles them. Come, let's help you on 0277.
You help them to what?
Yes. Some people, when you go close,
okay.
Who do you know me? Who do you know me?
Oh, fine, drop the number.
609 644. Write it slowly. 0277 609 644. If somebody is irritated with it because of any spiritual reason, there is nothing biblically spiritual as a man of God that stands against foreplay in the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. Learn how to do it if you don't know how to do it. And there are people who can help you to know how to do it. Do it well and do it clean. Okay. When you have sharp teeth, don't scratch anybody's male organ. Let's teach you how to use the mouth to cover the sharp teeth.
All right. And this is the health segment on New Day. Eric Mello says, but why in the name of God would you perform oral sex, all in the name of making your partner feel good? Most of them are very lost with its implications. This really needs serious education. Okay. Young Activist says, always talking about relevant matters. Thank you for making Ghana proud. All right. Thank you so much for that. And the last few messages before I go. Hey, it's too early for this. Besides, many women wouldn't like you to talk about this. Educating men about the effects of this act that makes them happy. Please, let's talk about something else and save our women. Okay, no problem. Chris Shuya says that, thank you so much for this topic. I've really enjoyed the discussion. Counselor really has made a lot of gist about women, which I bet most women don't even know about. And final one, Counselor just made my day. That's from Eddie Quay on Twitter. And y'all says, as for me, I like it. It's sweet pass. Yes, it's true. That's my opinion. Because if you don't go down on your woman, she's going to hate you for the rest of your life. And that's from Nana Kwame Champion. All right, thank you so much. In the studios, I've had Dr. Nana Andor Hansen, ENT unit, Kolebu Teaching Hospital. And he says, stay away from oral sex to avoid contracting some STIs and STDs. And Councillor Lutherodt says if you want your relationship to be spiced, then you need it. But women should learn to keep their private parts clean. And men as well should learn to keep their private parts clean. Thank you so much for joining me.